the Leafs pull the Uno reverse card. Because this kind of stuff that we saw tonight happens against the Leafs more often than not. They have the lead late. They give up a late goal. They blow it in overtime. Heartbreak. Now, albeit usually that's in a game 7 or something, so we're not there yet. But the Leafs were on the winning side of it this time as Morgan Rielly buries the overtime winner. Ryan O'Reilly gets the tying goal at the end of the third period. We'll get to all that in a second. And I want to get on. Look, later in the video, I'll touch on the Braden Point no goal that was called, and the Rielly Braden Point. Do you want to call it a hit? I don't know. I'll talk about that in a second, or later on in the video. But let's get to these goals. Let's get to what happened during the game. 3.5 minutes in, Matthew Knies enters the offensive zone, drops it off for Noel Acciari. And he's got Ryan O'Reilly on his right side. And it looked like Ian Cole was thinking, Ryan O'Reilly. Because he slides right over there, giving Noel Acciari a wide open shot right in the slot. And he rips it past Vasilevsky to open up the scoring. Acciari from Knies and O'Reilly at 3:24 of the first period. Fantastic start for the fellas. About a minute and a half after that, though, not great. Morgan Rielly pinches a little too far up. They get caught in a short odd man rush inside their own end, and it's buried by Anthony Cirelli at 4:50 of the first period. And let me be honest, Leaf fans, as much as I'm so jacked up for this win, they got outplayed. The Lightning played a phenomenal hockey, and possession-wise, they were all over the place. They outshot the Leafs by 12. They played the better hockey game, but come playoff time, don't matter who played the better game. It's who scores more. You know, Leafs fans have seen that for years and years and years. And for some reason, it's going that way today, at least. All right? Now, just over 11 minutes in, Mitch Marner back at the point. Little one-timer from Calle Jarnkrok, and he fires it on, and a gorgeous tip in front by Austin Matthews. And it beats Vasilevsky in the top corner, a gorgeous tip. And the Leafs regain the lead 2-1. Matthews finally gets his first goal of the playoffs, albeit he had like 4 or 5 assists as well, so I'm not going to freak out too much, obviously. But Matthews from Marner and Calle Jarnkrok at 11-10 of the first period. The Leafs, like I said earlier, have the lead back. But then, and it's been a theme in this series, they scored 2 goals in the final minute of periods in, game 1? And with 32 seconds left in the first period, Brennan Hagel scores, and very similar to the Braden Point no goal. However, actually not very similar. What am I talking about? Samsonov doesn't know where the puck is. He can't push off. It's an ugly goal. It's fired on by Brennan Hagel. It's stopped by Samsonov, but it slides underneath him and into the net. The whistle does go, but with momentum of the puck already going in the net and nobody else touching the puck, that is why it was called a good goal, and we are tied at 2. Yikes. We go to the second period. Actually, first things first. Shots were 13-8 in favor of the Lightning in that first period, and Ilya Samsonov was awful. Like, I honestly, when I was watching that first period and seeing how it ended, I was getting Joseph Woll thoughts at some point there. You know, I really was. Albeit I'm a big Joseph Woll guy, so, can't get crazy with it. But I gotta say, man, I don't know what happened in the intermission between the first and second, but Ilya Samsonov, the guy was outstanding the rest of the way. But in that second period, Radish comes down the half boards. Matthew Knies does not stay with him. Goes around the back of the net. Jake McCabe comes in for the flying hit, gets him, but he still has the puck, and McCabe's out of the play. Radish cuts in front of the net, roofs it on Ilya Samsonov, and the Lightning have their first lead of the game. It is 3-2. Not great if you're the Leafs. And at that moment, I'm like, man, the Leafs have not generated much offense. They've played a much better game, and now we're losing the game. This does not look good at all. And then we go to the third. Where it seemed like the entire third period, the Leafs couldn't get any zone time. They couldn't get anything done. And then in the final minute, it's insane. It really is. 6-on-5, Samsonov out of the cage. Nylander has it on the sideboards. And instead of trying to look for Marner or Matthews or Matthew Knies or any of these guys kind of on the perimeters, he fires it to the net. Now, not low enough that it hits the pads and it kicks so far. But not to the chest that Vasilevsky can just squeeze it. It was just below, So it bounces off Vasilevsky, stays right in front of the net, and Ryan O'Reilly has body position. I believe it was Ian Cole in front of the net, and he bangs in the rebound, and it goes under Vasilevsky's arm, and we are tied. 45 seconds to go in regulation, and somehow, some way, the Leafs have tied the game. O'Reilly from Nylander and Marner actually, no, it wasn't 45 seconds left. It was 1 minute smack on. Nylander and Marner grabbed the assist on that goal, and then the rest of the minute goes by, and we head to overtime. And in overtime, I was not feeling confident because, again, sure, the Leafs have tied the game, but we're Leaf fans. We're used to heartbreak, so we're waiting for it. And most of the overtime frame, they are just pounding Samsonov over and over and over. And that didn't sound great, but you guys know what I mean. With pucks. And he was making save after save after save. And he was quiet in the net. And I'm like, oh my God. Like the second period, the third period, only faced 3 shots in the third period. But then the 8 in overtime as well. Made some big stops on Kucherov. And then, actually, no, shout out Justin Hall. Floats one on. It goes off the inside of the post. And I'm watching the game with a couple buddies. I'm like, if that's half an inch on the more inside to the net, that's a posted in. Justin Hall's the overtime winner. Not long after that, though, face off in the offensive zone. Ryan O'Reilly. Oh, man. Ryan O'Reilly wins the puck back to the point. Morgan Rielly fires on it, and the Leafs win it in overtime. And they take a 2-1 series lead. Morgan Rielly talk all year has been about how he has struggled, how he has not lived up to the contract. But then we all forget, and then when it gets close to the playoff time, we're like, oh, wait, hold on a minute. He's been really good in the playoffs. Just last game, he tied a franchise record for assists by a defenseman in a game with 4. And tonight, he gets the overtime winner to give the Leafs a 2-1 series lead. And Leaf fans, how did that feel? I know it's only game 3. I understand that. But of all the misery we have seen for years and years, to get a moment like that you can watch over and over and enjoy is fun. It really is. Shout out Sheldon Keefe for losing his marbles on the bench. Absolutely outstanding. And then Kyle Dubas and Jason Spetz up in the press box going bonkers. And obviously, hey, shout out Maple Leaf Square. Just absolute mayhem. Love it. Anyways, with that being said, let's quickly touch on what happened. So, Braden Point had a goal called back. Okay? The reason I'm going to explain this now. What I said earlier about the Brendan Hagel goal that counted was that it was continuation. This one was not. The shot came on, got stuck in Samsonov, it dropped right underneath his pad, and I don't know where the referee was located on the play, and I can't remember when the whistle happened, whether it was after the first whack or the second, I don't know what it was, but it drops down, and he whacks at it once, it doesn't go in. Then he whacks at it a second time after the whistle is gone, and it's no goal. Once the guy touches the puck the second time and the whistle is already gone, play is dead. It's done. That's why it got called no goal. I heard John Cooper after the game saying, I don't know why the referee blew the whistle so fast. I mean, I didn't think it was that fast. Is that a biased Leaf fan take? I'll have to go rewatch it, I guess. But overall, it is what it is. And I know I'm going to see Lightning fans saying Lightning versus refs, and that's interesting considering what happened in Game 1, but we're not going to talk about that stuff. Then, Morgan Rielly's quote-unquote hit on Braden Point, and it led to a lot. Led to Kucherov jumping Morgan Rielly, led to Stamkos, dragging Matthews into his first career fight, which was not fun to watch, because then I thought about it, I'm like, these guys should be gone for 5 minutes now, and it's the third period with like 13 to go, and we're down a goal. Great. Not great. Ryan O'Reilly had to go to the box, and it was not pretty. Now, on that Rielly play, do I think that he pushed him? I think it was 2 guys battling for position, for one thing. Was there a little shove from Rielly? Yes. Was it from behind? You're blind if you say it was. It was, Braden Point was turned to the side, And it was all, Morgan Rielly gently. I mean, there's not much of a push. You don't see much extension, right, after he goes into the boards hard. So, a lot of stuff happened there. Booing happened. I'm glad to see Braden Point come back in the game, though, because look, let's be honest. As much as I am a Leaf fan, I'm a diehard Leaf fan, I want to see the players be healthy and play a full team, right? That's what I want to see. So, to see him come back in the game was great, and I'm glad he was okay. But I don't know. People were losing their mind, and they initially gave Rielly a five minute, and I'm like, are you blind? I mean, they did it for a reason. They could minimize it at that point, and they did. So, nothing too much from there that I wanted to talk about. Ilya Samsonov. Dude was awful in the first period, and I was ready to yank him. I was so scared. I thought, honestly, at 2-2, I'm like, I don't know how we're going to win this game, because he looks awful. His home road splits, we've seen it all year. Not great. The pressure on the road, not great. This is a playoff game. It's not pretty. And in the second period, he made 14 of 15 saves. He was outstanding, other than that one goal, but you can't blame him on that. He only faced 3 shots in the third period, made all 3 saves, and the big stuff was the 8 saves in overtime. A couple on Kucherov. I thought he was remarkable. Shots and goal for the game were 39-27 in favor of the Lightning, but who cares? Leafs won it in overtime. I don't care about shots on goal. I don't care about anything like that. Now, key players in the game. Ryan O'Reilly. Interesting. A Conn Smythe winner can do something like that. A 3-point night for Ryan O'Reilly. A goal and 2 assists. I would say the big assist on the game winner and the goal on the tying goal. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Ryan O'Reilly. Mitch Marner had a couple assists. And Matthew Knies, who they were really elevating today, constantly, had an assist and was a +2. He did not look out of sorts. There were times where he was over-deking and stuff like that, but again, I thought overall he looked really, really solid. Now, special teams-wise, no team really capitalized today. It was a weird one, though. A couple 4-on-4s, so both teams were technically 0 for 3, but both teams, I think, had one full 2-minute power play each. It was a really weird one, but holy smokes, Leaf fans. Got the series lead. We ain't there yet. As Kyle Lowry said, every time the Raptors won a game in 2019, hey, job's not done. Job ain't done. You got to keep going. And Game 4 in Tampa is on Monday at 7:30. Now, you did your job getting home ice back. Is it possible? You guys know exactly what I'm thinking for Monday at 7:30. We'll have to wait and see, though, right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and the W today, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game, what you like, what you not like from today's game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Twitter and Instagram links are down below. So if you want to voice all your happiness and or your concerns and all that stuff, go nuts down below. The Discord and TikTok links are down there as well, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I'll talk to you guys. The Jays play, tomorrow, 1:35 against the Yankees. Clark Schmidt and Kevin Gausman is the pitching matchup there in the finale in the Bronx. But as for the Leafs, Game 4 against the Lightning goes on Monday night, 7:30, puck drop there, as the Leafs look to... You guys know what I'm thinking, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's definitely W today. We'll talk to you guys then.